Dan il-podcast joffri spazju fejn il-mistiedna jesprimu l-ħsieb personali b'mod liberu u responsabbli fuq suġġetti varji, mhux neċessarjament ikun hemm qbil mal-opinjonijiet tal-mistednin. Għalhekk nistiednu lill-udjenza sabiex tevalwa l-argument miġjub u bl-ebda mod ma jsir attakk personali fil-kummenti. Hija l-intenzjoni tal-produtturi li dan il-podcast ikun spazju fejn il-libertà tal-espressjoni tiġi dejjem imħarsa b'responsabbiltà u b'rispett sħiħ.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common vow. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Nilqawkom magħna l-podcast ieħor. Għal-podcast tal-lum għandna psychic medium ġejja mill-Ingilterra, propjament mill Londra, jisimha Selby u l-podcast tal-lum ħajkun bl-Ingliż. Sam, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am from the UK. I have been in Malta for now 15 years.
Oh.
I'm a psychic medium. Found out from a very young age that I was psychic medium, and I've made it my career, basically.
How did you discover that you had this gift?
What
was your first experience?
My first experience was at 9.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the playground at school. I was playing with my friends. We're at a church school, and it had one of those wire nets, and on the other side of the church school was a graveyard. So the graveyard backed onto the playground.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember playing with my friends. They even remember it because they even talk about it to this day, like 30 years on. We're in the playground, and I looked over and I saw this lady dressed in like Victorian clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And she was walking up and down these 3 graves, and she looked over to me and she waved, and I just waved back, and I said to they were like, "Who are you waving at, Sam?" And I was like, "The lady." "There's no lady there, Sam." "Okay, there's no lady there." And that's when I became quiet about the medium experiences. But that was the first. And even now, like I said, they still talk about it, saying that they couldn't believe that I could see that at such a young age. That was 9.
First experience.
Yeah.
And then obviously you started evolving into studying and mediumship.
So I came from a mum who was Church of England. My father was originally Jewish. They were German Jews that came over during the war. And so it was very open as to what my belief system would be. Mm-hmm. I wasn't pressured into anything. I was allowed to choose, basically, what resonated with me. And then things like paganism came up and Wicca came up. And it was just something that I didn't really feel that I could talk about, but I did a lot of sort of research to see what resonated with me, because I didn't feel that I sat anywhere with any of the religions. Mm-hmm. So that kind of inspired and spurred on all of my traveling. So I did years of solo traveling, backpacking with gurus, with different spiritual communities, trying to learn where I sat with it. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until later on in my life that when we realized that the psychic medium side had come alive so much, that I sort of had my own belief system, but it was made up of all of these other little, studies. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And it took me around the world. It's been amazing. First mediumship around 9, and then psychic ability and my studies, my self-study started there, but it became it was my identity at the end of the day. Psychic ability started developing. I was traveling. I always had my cards. I work with Lenormand, which is different to tarot. It's based on the first ever card deck, so 36 cards. Mm-hmm. And the original Lenormand was reading at around Napoleon time. She used to read for Napoleon. And there, she was from France. So there's the first sort of known fortune tellers starting to develop. And Lenormand was the deck that I grew up on. So I started reading for myself. Then when I was traveling, I started reading for friends. They came back to me. I carried on doing it. I kept it a secret from my family. They just would not understand. 25 years
So
I kept it.
Know.
They didn't know because on top of their belief systems, they were working in the medical field. And my father was an engineer. So everything had to have scientific value.
Had to have matter.
So I just kept it quiet. And they found out just like 2 years before they died.
Wow.
And that was, I think I was already in my late 30s then.
Wow.
So, yeah.
How do spirits usually communicate with you? How do you hear them? Do you see them? Do they send you messages like dreams or visions?
So, I have had to learn how to manage it on a day-to-day basis. Otherwise, it's totally overstimulating and overwhelming for me.
Okay, it's chaotic.
It's you have this higher vibration going on all the time, and you get all the whispers. It's always through the right side of my head.
Okay.
I get visions. I hear whispers. I did some studies on my brain of what happens when I start channeling. And when we looked at the brain frequencies, I flatline into meditation.
Okay.
It just totally goes down. And then, so I relax my mind enough to allow...
To silence them.
Not to silence them, to allow them the space to communicate with me. So I relax the mind, and it's whatever vision comes through, whatever I start hearing. Sometimes I automatically start talking. Lots of visions coming in, and I just trust it and share whatever comes through, and it always resonates with.
Okay. Before you told me that you were given a test.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Yeah.
Because it's very interesting.
So I, at the beginning, when Facebook was starting to pick up with the groups, I had joined some of the Facebook groups that were doing online readings at the very beginning when this took off. And I entered into a group, and I had to do a reader's approval test. I wasn't given any information, just given a time slot. So I came online, I met everybody. There were 5 healers from around the world. And they said, right, your time starts now. We're giving you 6 photos, 12 hours. You have to give full readings on each person. No cards, no nothing, just a photo.
Okay.
So I freaked out.
Obviously.
I was like, I can't do it without my cards. I've always had my cards. And then I was just like, well, actually, let's just see, what have I got to lose? So I took these photos. I start just trusting what comes through, writing everything down. And then I got stuck on one. And I was really, really stressed out. It just, nothing was coming through. So I went up to the sauna and steam, and I just sat there just to connect with myself and practice some self-love and see if I could connect any higher. And I just closed my eyes and said, please, I'm really stuck. Please just show me a sign. And as I opened my eyes, in perfect harmony, 3 eagles flew across in front of me, made of steam. And they just flew off, and then they just disappeared. So I wrote all this down. I was like, God, who has 3 eagles? Like, no one's going to have 3 eagles. But anyway, let's just whack it all down. We've got nothing to lose. I sent them in, and then like 12 hours later, I started getting the results. I remember sitting on the sofa, and the results started coming in 100%, 90%, 95%. And I'd aced all of them. They'd never had results like that. And I couldn't believe what I was finally seeing, because I had that sort of clarity that, oh my goodness, I really can do this.
So when you saw those 3 eagles, obviously you had to interpret what you're seeing. So you're not just telling them, look, I saw 3 eagles. So he had to make a connection with the person in the photo, right?
Yeah. So from the 3 eagles, I could then see a whole ranch. I could see it was very South American. It was very sort of had those Red Indian kind of vibes. And then this lady came on, beautiful, South American, came from, you know, that whole ancestry background. She has 3 eagles that she has on her land that follow her everywhere. And immediately she said, look, Sam, she put on the CCTV. She said, can you see them? There's one over there, there's one over there, and there's the other one.
Wow.
And I was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
And you told me about names. Sometimes you receive names, letters.
Sometimes I do. Names really are like, you get the information coming through, but there's always this second, like, is it? Or am I doubting myself? And usually when I come out with a name, I'll start with the letter to feel if it really sits, and then I'll say the name and it will come through. But there was one that I did last year it was a name like Joff. I've never heard the name Joff before. And I was like, I'm hearing Jeff, Joff. It's Joff. It's absolutely Joff.
It was spot on.
Yeah. I amazed myself.
Yeah. Of course. But who or what is talking into your head?
So,
who is telling you these things?
So, the way that I work and the way that I found it's different for mediums. Every medium has their own way of working.
Yeah.
But this is the way that works for me best.
Spirit guides, right?
Yes, but there's a difference.
Yeah.
So, when I'm doing a mediumship for someone, they will come to me. I'll ask them to bring a photo.
Okay.
All I need is a photo
so
to
you can
connect to. That's it.
All right.
And then once I connect with the photo, I'll start getting images coming through. And it's very much like, you know, when you're telling a bedtime story or you're coming up with a story to tell children. And you just sit there and you're like, and then this happened, and then they went for a walk down in the woods, and all those images will come to me as if like I'm narrating a book.
So basically you're using your imagination.
Yeah, but it's not imagination.
Yeah, I know. But obviously.
Yes, it's all that
like
part of the brain.
Yeah.
All that
So
right side of the brain.
Unconsciously, you're narrating something which is coming through you. So basically, you're channeling it.
I'm channeling.
You're channeling it. Okay, but my question is, who is talking to you? Is it?
I believe it's the spirit that I'm connecting to, because often I can describe the voice.
Okay.
So I can hear the voice, but sometimes if it's a different language or something like that, a lot of it is symbolic. So I will get symbols coming through. I'll also get taken back into my personal experiences or emotions or feelings that I felt around a certain event in my life. And I will be able to relay those emotions to someone because it's taken me back into a personal experience. Okay. And that personal experience often is a mirror of what's happened to that person.
Okay. Have you ever tried finding someone who is maybe missing?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of these stories.
So that when we were on that group, so with that Facebook group that I joined, I ended up running it. I ended up working my way all the way up to the top and running it with 4 other healers around the world. And most of them are over in the States. There's one in Australia, one in the States. I was Europe. There was another in the UK. And there were a lot of missing persons cases that came into us. There was one in particular I remember because this missing person, there was still a window of opportunity. That person was still alive. And it came in the States. And we all got together and there was a map there was a representative going off with a map, and then we were all working with the team to see what we were getting. And I was getting that this body was actually now passed. It was underneath like a pylon right next to water where there was, it was really strange because it had one of those electricity units that they
A
just...
substation.
Yeah, the substation.
Mm-hmm.
It was relatively close to the water, but anyway, that this body was under there, and I could see it under there.
It was dead.
Yeah.
All right. And
They
found
found it.
They
did
found
find it.
Wow.
Yeah. I can feel death.
So it all started
spirits.
with a photo
Yeah.
and a map.
Yeah. And they were working with the police team over and the search teams over in the States. It took about, I think, 2-3 days to find the location.
Wow.
But they did find her in the end.
That's...
I love doing those sort of cases.
Yes.
They excite me.
First of all, there is a result. I mean, if I show you a picture now, and maybe, okay, you start telling me things, okay, and who knows. But if I tell you, Isma, this person is missing, and you find that person, there is a result. There is, I don't want to say proof, but there is a result, okay? There is an end result. So that for you must be, I mean, that's your reward, you know?
Yeah.
First of all, you're saving lives. If, obviously, the person is still alive.
Yeah. I like to see people succeed.
Yeah, of course. Oh,
So-
nice. Oh, nice. Very good. Nice. What about spirit guides? Do you work with spirit guides? Because I've had other mediums telling me that they work with spirit guides.
Not so much. I mean, remember, these are all just labels to personal experiences.
Yeah.
So a spirit guide to someone might be like a prayer to the archangels, or it could be to your personal spirit guides. I kind of believe that our spirit guides are made up of our ancestors or our past loved ones that actually come and protect us. Because if I'm ever going to get a message that is directly for me, it's going to be one of my parents. It's going to or one of my best friends that have passed. And I will hear their voice and they will say, you know, Sam, make sure that everyone's got their seatbelts on for the next week or something like that. You know?
It's like a premonition.
Yeah, premonition of safety. That's when I usually connect with my spirit guides. But then when I'm doing a mediumship, I will call upon that person with the picture. So if I have a picture in front of me, when I open up, I'm not inundated by the spiritual realm because...
You're just connecting with that one.
Yeah, and the strange thing is, when I connect, I feel it like a helix coming down. Right? And it kind of whooshes down next to me and just stays. And then when I finished, I say thank you and again, but it's always this helix.
Because everyone has his own methodology.
Yeah.
Everyone has his own experience.
Yeah.
So I've spoken to a lot of mediums. Most of the mediums I spoke to, usually they say I get messages from either my spirit guides or the person in front of me. And sometimes they say like, you have 3 spirit guides, 4 spirit guides. Sometimes they're not even related to you, these spirit guides. So that always fascinated me. I honestly don't know what to think about the spirit guides. Okay, I
question it. I question it only because my personal experience is so broad. Like I hear, I see, I feel, and it's not the same person. I can tell if it's a male or a female, old, young.
Okay.
So to me it changes. For me it changes. But if anything, I think the spirit guides come in more as our past loved ones that are coming to protect us. Because they can come through the veil.
Okay, that's... something else about, can anyone develop psychic abilities? Can, let's say for example, can everyone be trained to be a psychic?
So. I think it's harder nowadays, but I believe that we've always had the ability, and over the years and through evolution, and also, you know, governments coming in, control mechanisms, laws.
We lost it.
That, you look at what happened in the UK when they drowned all the witches.
Yeah, of course.
That was a control mechanism.
Fear.
Fear of manipulation. You can't control someone that is manipulating energy. So get rid of them all, and you've got a whole generation
Robots.
that is moving further and further away from their intuition the whole time.
Yeah.
So I believe with brain training, with meditation, with the right kinds of meditations, that we can all use our psychic ability. Psychic ability is a bit of a... I don't like to use the word psychic. I use intuition, because we've all got intuition.
Yeah, of course.
Intuition is your psychic ability. It's clicking into it and trusting it. And then the more that you work on these meditations and work on the specific glands, focus in on those. It's not guided meditations. You need to quieten the mind and focus. Then you can start to trust it more and build it. And I personally think if we build on the intuition side first, then the mediumship will start coming through. First, for me, it was mediumship that then moved to psychic ability, because I didn't realize how accurate and strong my mind was. But then, so the first experience was medium, then it was psychic, then I went back into medium, and now it's psychic medium. So it's just sort of all developed, and now I work in all the realms. But
can you unconsciously block this gift? Unconsciously, without knowing?
Yeah, that's what's happened to our generation. That's what's happened to our civilization at this point. Because if you look back on things like the pagans, Stonehenge, temples here, Egypt, pyramids, you look at the symbolism back there, they were all using their intuition. And can you imagine what kind of world we would live in now if we all used our intuition?
Yeah, of course.
Then you don't have war. You don't have, sickness in the same way. Mental health would be a different story. All of those things have changed because we've been distanced from the way that our brains work.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I hear a lot about love and light. Okay? I'm not one of those. I work in shadows. Okay? I acknowledge my shadows, and I believe that from shadow work, you become enlightened, not
Absolutely.
from the light.
I think it's a balance.
It's a balance.
It's a balance. Look, over here in Malta, it's when you're working in this kind of field, I think we have to present ourselves with love and light. Because it is the unknown and it's the darkness that so many are scared of here. But it's only lack of knowledge. See, I believe in Taoism. So where there is light, there is darkness. And karma. And energy. So if we deal with love and light every day, that you're dealing with fake positivity as well. You're not necessarily getting to the root of the challenge. Now, anyone that wants to work in healing and works in healing, whether it's dark or light, at the end of the day, you're going to be working with the root of the problem, which always comes from trauma. Trauma is darkness.
Exactly.
So there has to, you can treat it with love and light, but if you think that being a healer is skipping through fields and playing with herbs, you're mistaken. It's very vibrational. Even things like Reiki, very, very real, all energetical, but you can be working with light or darkness. Now, the darkness side comes if there are attachments in paranormal, or there is heaviness there, or blockages in the chakras. Then you have the light energy that can rebalance the darkness. But I don't believe that we can just get rid of, negative entity has to exist, and so does positive. For there to be balance.
Do you believe there are negative spirits who not necessarily been alive, like they were never human, they were never had a human form, I mean. So it's like we're talking about, let's say, demons, for example.
So I can only speak from my personal experience in this life. My experience with entity and demonic activity is a collection of angry souls, if that makes sense. That can shapeshift. It can take any shape. That has, especially here in Malta, when I pick up on those energies, it is not a single soul. So my belief system is that, yes, heaven does exist and there are levels of vibrational energy, and hell doesn't go much lower than where we are right now. So if someone is going to hell, from my experience of coming in contact with these entities, it has been someone that hasn't crossed over to heaven, that has been stuck here, can't see, can't feel, can't taste, can't be heard, can't be seen. You know, take away all the senses and you have a very frustrated soul that is trapped here. Yeah. Essence.
And then when they aggregate,
when they get together, that is when you get a lot of multiplying negative entity, which then can shapeshift into different shapes, faces.
And can manifest into, like, for example, human forms, animal forms, right?
Can, but
because it needs a physical body, obviously.
More likely attachment. Yeah, it would attach.
Okay, explain entities, attachment. Yes.
Okay,
because I know about attachments, but obviously our followers, they don't know what we're talking about.
If you are open, if you are awakened, you're much more likely to get an attachment, because the spirit can feel that you are open and then attaches. So when I was growing up, my mum had already lost her sister. I had always had this heavy attachment and strange energy. I'd never met my auntie, and she had committed suicide. Now, suicide is one of the reasons why you wouldn't get to heaven, unless there was something that happened here that helped you cross over, if that makes sense. Okay. So when I was opened up to all of this paranormal world, straight away, the other healers were picking up that I had this attachment next to me. Now, there were people that sat me down and said, we need to do this and this and this. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with it. This is actually something that I have grown with my entire life. And I don't want to tip the scales too much. Let me look into it. I didn't enter into that. And then I went to a healer. And then I went to a pranic healer. And she cleansed. And she said, yeah, there was an entity. I've dealt with it. Just rebalance you and off you go. And then the next 48 hours, I could not understand why I was crying like someone had died. It was like my whole world had fallen apart and I couldn't put my finger on it. I phoned up this pranic healer and she said, oh yes. So this was a lady. And I was like, was she called Sally? And was she my auntie? And she said, yes. And so my mum, when growing up, my mum and I loved my mum dearly, but we had a very difficult relationship. And every time she would lose it, she would say, you're just like Sally, or she would call me Sally. And then once I'd had this cleansed off and I realized it was Sally, I could do things then like to value Sally, like go and light candles for her or something to help her pass over, because once she's cleansed off me, she can't get to my mum anymore through me.
Okay.
And
she was using you.
Yeah, and they had this,
all right.
It was very strange. So when that was cleansed off me, then I had this whole morning that went on, and then I was much lighter afterwards, and my life was much lighter. But attachments will always attach onto someone that's sensitive. But I don't deal with them here.
So they attack you?
I don't think they attack you. I think they live through you so that they can experience things, but they still have a lot of anger and negativity. You know, so there are things that you can have a cursed life. You can have a really unfortunate life, and these things are attached onto you. And it's.
But how do people know that they have an attachment? How would you realize that something is happening to you through something else? Do you see signs, for example?
People would usually just come to me and say, you know, I think there's something going on. Do you pick up on it? And that's something I will just say, just send me a selfie and I will be able to feel if there is something there. And I'm very honest. Sorry, I don't think there is. Or, yeah, I think maybe there is something negative here that is impacting your life on a day-to-day basis, and that we need to look into that and work on it. So it's not just working on that person. You have to work with that spirit too. Otherwise, that spirit doesn't...
Okay, doesn't cross. Okay, it still attaches to the person.
Sometimes you can, not always.
And a spirit can attach not only to a person, but also to a location, to a place, right?
Yeah.
To a house.
Yes.
And what? How do you deal with that?
I run away very fast. Yes, I'm so sensitive. No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't like it. I feel like there are some places around Malta that I just walk past, and like there's that abandoned building in Manuel Island. You know, when you're walking down, that one on the left. I feel it, and I just leg it. I'm too sensitive. Maybe I need to be a little bit braver.
Personally, Manuel Island is all out of bounds for me. When I was young, I was 14 up to 16, I used to live there.
Oh,
Honestly,
yeah?
I used to live there every day, around the barracks, the British show. And the negative energy that I felt, at that time I was a different person. But at that time, I used to feel negativity there. There is another place in Rabat. Again, I feel...
There's Rabat. What about Fort St. Angelo? I
never felt...
When I was doing Fashion Week, I went down there with the other designers. They opened it all up because we were doing it from Fort St. Angelo. And they took us down this... When you come up, you know, you come up the slope and you go around the corner and then there's the other slope. And along here, there is a big door.
Yeah.
And they opened that up for us. And I walked in there. And it's really quite long. And then it goes round this corner. I went round this corner. I think I could have got a gold medal. I ran so fast out of that place. It is so heavy. And that there feels like it was used as... it was used for torture, or it was used as a prison.
So there's an accumulation of negative emotions.
And there's lots of these places around the island.
Yeah. And there are positive places as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Because one of the places where I feel this very strong positive energy is Ain Tufiha. It's called Karrab or Arraba, and Maltese we say Arraba. There I go there, just sit there, meditate, and it refreshes me.
Yeah.
I felt the same Stonehenge.
Yeah.
I've been to Stonehenge 3 or 4 times.
Love Stonehenge.
4 times.
Yeah.
And the first time was special. When I was there the first time, I could feel this, I don't know, it was like...
Vibrational.
Yes, it was like bubbles coming out of the ground like this and energize me. I felt strong. I don't want to say happy. Yeah. But I felt...
Connected.
Connected, yes.
Yeah.
Connected.
Yeah.
So I can feel these places.
And even here at the temples in Malta, that's why I'm here. That's why what drew me here was the ley lines, the temples. They still have that energy, but because of the Earth's tilt that's affected the alignment of the temples with the stars, it's slightly... Yeah, Sirius. It's slightly shifted, so it's still very high vibrational.
The temple has expired basically because of the shift. The shift.
But the energy is still very vibrational there, even with the history.
Have you ever been to Hypogeum?
would you like to go? I haven't been down there. It's somewhere that
You never been?
I can't do it. But maybe I could do it with you and see what I get, because that's really magical. Because that place where you have the om sound that comes out and the healing.
Is evil, huh?
Don't know if you're going to get me in there then.
Really, really dark.
Oh, God.
I almost had a fight with the guide because I know.
Like a month ago or a month ago.
No, it's a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful place. It's amazing. Historically, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But the energy in there, it's...
Sacrificial.
That's the word. That's why I had an argument with the guide, because he was saying that this is a burial chamber, this is that. I said, oh, this is all bullshit.
No, that's sacrifice.
This is sacrificial chamber.
That is sacrifice. And even in Gigantia,
yes,
there is...
of course.
I walked around and we were with the guide, and they're saying, oh, this is where they would do the rituals. And I was like,
Blood rituals.
that's where they slaughtered that right there.
Yeah.
And I can feel it. I can... You know, there are some elements of the history which are not 100% accurate. But because of my personal experience being able to feel that it's different.
5% accurate.
Yeah.
No, it's hypogeum. Hypogeum, I can feel it's sacrificial chamber. When I said, but could this be a sacrificial chamber? He said, no. I said, why? He told me because we didn't find one single skeleton with the neck, with the knife slit the throat. I said, oh wait, there are many ways how to kill a person. You don't have to just slit the throat. No. So, and they never found.
But then,
complete skeletons as well.
if you look through history, the amount of sacrifice and ritual that went on alongside healing.
Yeah, of course.
And they're both in the same space there.
The same one.
I find all of the temples are high vibrational that point upwards, but anything downwards is...
Usually they used to build a temple over the ground and one underneath.
Yeah.
One symbolizing the darkness and one symbolizing the
light.
And usually the ones on the top, they would be aligned to the Sirius. Okay?
Yeah.
And then when the temple expired, they built a new one. Okay, that's why in Malta we have a lot. There is what is called the Sirius cult. In Malta there was this cult called the Sirius cult. What about the giants? I don't know. You've heard about all the stories in Sardinia and in Malta, these giants. So you believe, I imagine.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like you can't. If you look at the formation of the temples, pyramids, whatever they found going under the pyramids now. You can't... Okay, their technology was developed. It's not technology in today's technology that we're dealing with. We're talking about advanced mathematics, quantum physics. Sound, vibration. Yeah, the sound was massive. The movement, the way that they used things was... They can't explain it now. If there really are those things under the pyramids...
What are these? What are those? I mean, how can you explain it?
So long ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you watched that series. What was it called?
Stargate?
No, it was on Netflix.
Graham Hancock?
Yes. Now... I don't like to say I follow anybody, but I mean the things that came up on that showed the locations around the world that are really, really covered. These are people that were using their intuition. These are people that were higher vibrational that knew exactly what they were doing.
Of course, even what they were building. Anything that they built it on purpose.
Absolutely,
not just for aesthetics only.
And I tell you what's interesting, in August, we have Lionsgate. Now, I believe in astrology, but psychic medium and astrology are two very separate things. Yeah. Now, in August, we have Lionsgate. Lionsgate is when the 3 temples in Giza align with the three of Orion, and then you have the lion facing.
Yeah, the Sphinx facing the lion.
Energetically, during those 10 days, the amount of awakening that I've noticed, not just here, but globally, and how things start to manifest, how the energy during that one window of the year, even like the way I do my work and how much work I have, I'm always slammed. And the same around a full moon as well. So it's all energetical. They were harnessing energy and using it to the maximum. And
I also believe that the Vatican is harnessing energy. What do you tell me about the Vatican?
I was there last year.
Have you been there?
Last year I went in there.
What is your...
Do you know what? I really didn't want to go in there because I thought it was going to be heavy. Why do I need to subject myself to that when I'm so sensitive to it? It was very high vibrational in the Sistine Chapel.
Okay, never been
That
there.
way, over that way, it was very high vibrational. But the history and the feeling, okay, it is high vibrational inside, but where there is light, there is darkness. So I think they're protecting
Definitely.
knowledge.
No, I felt a very negative presence there. First of all, it makes you feel like you're nothing. You're just a small ant.
Or a mosquito.
You know, the Loving Hands of the Church by Bernini, and then the obelisk and those statues looking at you like you're just, a
Nothing.
tiny piece of...
But if we look at the history of the world and when the religions started to form, so one group that I spent a lot of time studying with was in India, was Brahma Kumaris, and they have a really beautiful way of thinking about the cycle of the world, and it's 10,000 years. And at the beginning, there are 10,000 people that reach the golden age, and then as negativity starts to build, so do the religions. And you have the Muslim religion, Christianity coming, and it goes all the way around in a cycle, and those that are enlightened right at the end will cross over to the golden age. We're right at the end of destruction now. There is about to be a reset.
Yeah.
There is, and that is built on negativity,
Yeah.
on negative energy that we are living in.
So, you believe that next year will be something like...
There's always something coming. I'm not saying it's next year. Like things like when I was doing readings just before COVID, you look into do all the work readings and the business readings and see structure how we're going to do it, and it kept coming up. There is going to be something that comes up that changes the way that we work, and it is something out of your hands. And it is going to change all of us, and you need to be ready to adapt your business to work differently. And I was saying this day after day after day, and I was like, something's coming. I know it is. I don't think next year is going to be the end, but I think that with the level of negativity going on a global scale, you connect that with war. You connect that with who is running the world right now. It's more likely that something would happen on a nuclear base that would then like poison our water systems or break. All it's going to take is one thing to break down the way that we function, or the world to heat up, and all our water is evaporated. Then what? It's going to be something, I feel, that is triggered by man-made, which will then have a knock-on effect on how we exist environmentally.
Do you think there will be some intervention from someone?
I think we'd be very lucky to experience it in this lifetime. I don't like to really have a visitation. We would be so naive if we thought that we're the only planet that has life form on it.
Of course. No, that's technically impossible. But what if, now we're talking about aliens, okay? What if these, what we call aliens, I like to call them non-human intelligence. Okay, what if they're not coming from another planet?
They're coming from a vibrational existence and coming into form.
Some different dimension,
Absolutely.
different vibration.
Absolutely. Because this is Earth, this is our reality, but I know that there are these layers of consciousness.
This is 3D. Yeah. This is 3-dimension. Okay?
Yeah, this is an
matter.
experience.
Okay, it's the
in matter.
It's the unification of negative and positive together. You have the torus field and matter is created. Matter. Okay, that's why it's called matter. So, but I know there are different dimensions, higher dimensions, lower dimensions. So what if these entities, this intelligence, okay, is coming from, I don't know, maybe it's taking a human form or a physical form just to transverse into our reality?
Yeah, but that could be all of us. That could have already happened.
Yeah, you can do it with, even by dreaming, astral projection.
Yeah. It's not impossible. I mean, I have these visitations every day and they come into form. But let me explain one thing that was, again, a personal experience. When my father died, he died in my arms. I saw his soul rise out of his body. And it wasn't like a bright light or anything. He literally just lifted out like a bubble with all the swirling colours of a bubble. So he was a bubble of energy. And I just went like this, and he floated. And when he reached the ceiling, he just popped. And he became eternal energy. That was something that I physically saw with my ability. So now, when I call upon Dad, I just call upon him, and he comes back into form. So I don't feel that the energy that we're talking about is a consistent form when it is not presented here. It's only because of the way that we function and the brain functions that we as humans need to put that into a physical thing to say it's real. But it's not. It's energetical.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. Okay.
You can't. Not everyone can see it.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
Because that's my philosophy about these things, that they present themselves using our own imagination like a projection, and we can see them just to relate with them. Like, for example, in the past they used to see angels, like they used to see orbs, fairies, gnomes. So I don't know if you ever heard of the book Passport to Magonia from Jacques Vallée. He talks a lot about these things. Because in the past it was like angels and demons, then we had technology, so you could see, these disc-shaped objects. Nowadays we're seeing orbs. Yeah.
But the orbs that are coming down are energy, and they're bright white energy. Those ones last year that were...
You had a sighting, right?
Yeah, so I saw a sighting years ago over Valletta. 3 kind of black dots that kind of moved in ways which no hawk, no stealth can move like that. And then the same at night, white movement. I see it, but I tell you, I did hear a really interesting story that these 3 orbs over Valletta were filmed. And then when they went to watch the films,
nothing's there.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of
I've heard
stories.
a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
No, I think it would be foolish to think that there wasn't something more. But what's interesting is that the visitations that we get, I think orbs are accumulated energy. I don't think they're
conscious. I believe they are.
Not sure. They might be able to transmute into consciousness or into a different form, but the visitation that we're getting is high voltage energy, bright white light, rather than it's not transmuting into anything that we can relate to apart from a ball of energy. Maybe it's got emotions.
I believe it does.
Do you think do you think aliens have emotions?
Okay, we're trying to project a human thing into something that we don't know. So emotion, I don't know. They have an agenda for sure.
Agenda, yes.
Okay,
And they connect to us through emotion.
Yes. Definitely they have an agenda. They are obviously interested in us for some strange reason. I don't know why. Maybe they look at us like entertainment, maybe.
I literally think that. It's like watching Big Brother from above, thinking, what the hell are they doing
Exactly.
now?
We're like Disneyland. I always say this. We're like Disneyland for them. And there seems to be this trickster. They are showing us things, not always saying because we've heard a lot of stories of visitations and communications with other humans. And mixed messages. Some of them are positive, some of them, I don't know, they say we're destroying the world, this and that. There are times.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, we are. I mean, you don't have to be an alien to know.
Yeah.
We are very destructive.
Yeah.
No? I just watched a very good movie recently, Signal 1.
Haven't seen it, but I'll put it on the list.
It's amazing. You'll enjoy it for sure. I don't remember, it was a very long movie, but it was very straightforward. It talks about humanity, it talks about alien communication, portal opening with different dimensions, and humanity is being put to the test face to face with our own demons. So I always say this, humans were engineered to be slaves and programmed to self-destruct. And we are destructive.
Oh, absolutely.
We are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's what happens when you take away the intuition.
Exactly. Have you ever had, like, for example, visitations from animals?
Yeah.
Spirit animals?
Spirit animals, yeah.
I've had a lot of people asking these things.
So you can read spirit animals pretty easily. They're in the energy around us.
All right.
They're usually more symbolic than anything.
Okay.
So the way that I've always worked with spirit animals is that you can pick up on, how do I do it? Okay. If you take a picture, like a selfie,
Okay.
and you can zoom right into the pixels. Zoom, 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 zoom. You can start to see all the spirit animals around you. But for me, that then becomes symbolic, like an owl. Even the spirit animals that you find around you, they're very general. You'll have tigers, owls, butterflies, lizards, raccoons, bears. You rarely get, like, sometimes you'll get a dog, sometimes you'll get a cat, unless it's someone that had loads of dogs and cats, they won't surround you. But usually that animal is then seen in the pixels. I know what the symbolism is behind it, and then that symbolism would make sense to you, and then it could be a psychic premonition, or it could be knowing that you have wisdom and trust on your right shoulder, and you have strength and health and love on the other shoulder, represented by the spirit animal. So I think for me, life has been full of symbols. You ask me what languages I speak. English, dead people and symbols. That's it.
Good one. Sam, what is the biggest misconception about with people about psychic mediums?
I think that it goes against the church. That it is something evil, that it is something that, why would you want to connect with someone that's dead? People come to me because they want to connect, and they walk away with a healed heart, knowing that they've got closure, getting the messages that they needed. There is such a misconception that you are bothering someone if you are approaching them. They are with you. If someone loves you and they pass away, they're always going to be with you. And you just call upon them and they come together. So the misconception, I believe, is that we shouldn't.
Challenges their belief system, basically.
Yeah, we shouldn't do this. But why? If I have this gift and I have a lengthy education and alphabet after my name of qualifications which are nothing to do with this, I gave all of that up because I have this gift. And if I don't use this gift, I'm not going to feel like I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. So the misconception for me is that, like, even with my readings with the psychic ability, I help people over their challenges that are directly in front of them so that they can align themselves with their truth. I can read years into the future. It is not productive. You cannot tell someone, oh yeah, you're going to be married to this person, and then,
Because obviously you're doing your own choices.
Everything is somebody's choice. My job is to help someone understand their past and why something happened, understand what's going on in their present, and with the future line, it's like, this is what's to be aware of. You're still fully in control to create the life that you want. So my purpose is literally, it could be, is this relationship going to work? Is it worth my investment? Well, you need to work on these things, yes, and then there is possibility of that. Or you need to listen to yourself and walk away from it. The longer you're with the wrong person, the longer it's going to take the right person to come in, and you've done the healing, right? So I think people don't understand how you can use it constructively. Even with business plans, people come to me and they will say, Sam, I've got this idea. This is the idea. Can you look into it? Is it going to work? Yes, it's going to work, but you can't trust that person.
All right.
Don't go into it with that person, or don't fully invest that amount and it will pick up properly, or this project is just not going to work, or you need to look at copyright or whatever it is that comes up, patenting. Those sorts of things come up in business readings, and I love doing those. But again, it's just for alignment. Everyone's still in control.
Free will.
Free will, and destiny can shift.
Yeah, of course. With your choices.
And that's why, people say, can you tell me, when am I going to meet him?
I talk a lot
just
about
do you.
This topic on the podcast.
Looking too far ahead.
I don't believe in fate.
Yeah.
I don't believe in fate. I believe in destiny, okay? I believe that you can change your future.
Absolutely.
With your every second choice.
Absolutely.
Because there are infinite possibilities, and then you choose, and everything is a domino effect that will affect you and others with the choices that you make now.
Absolutely. And I think I'm probably one of the only psychics that will turn around and say, do you know what the best thing you can do now is? Live in the present moment and enjoy it and make the most of it. Because everything is possible, and one person's choice can have a domino effect on everybody else's choice.
Of course, so domino effect.
So destiny is written, like soulmates, or something was meant to happen so that happened, but it can always shift. It can always change.
Yeah. If you could give one piece of advice to someone starting their spiritual journey, what would it be? I know we spoke about darkness, about the shadow work.
I think key points would be that we are very energetical. Understand your chakra system, you can work with it. Cleanse and open and close your energy, very, very important, so that you're in charge of your energy and other people can't manipulate you. And learn that meditation has been key in our survival for way too many years. And a lot of people think they can't meditate. It is fundamental in our existence. If we are going to be our true essence, that we have to learn to meditate.
People think that meditation is just you sitting in the lotus position.
It is a switch.
Yeah.
It is a whole part of
I
us.
meditate on the bike, for example,
Yeah.
with the helmet on.
Yeah.
Okay, I just silence everything, and I'm on the bike, I'm doing something. So I'm not just sitting there doing nothing.
But the focus is to create. Your brain will still be working subconsciously
Yes,
and
but
consciously because
it's
you're riding a
automatic.
bike. But all you need is 5-10 minutes a day. That's all you need, or a couple of times a week just to start. If you can get the right kind of deep meditation and start activating those parts of our brain, your intuition's just going to explode. When you can trust your intuition,
When you're in the flow, you're doing something that you love, painting, for example.
you have to. If people are not doing what they love, they are not living to their fullest.
Yeah.
I'm an artist. I have to paint. When I can't deal with the world anymore, and
Yeah.
I have to paint,
You have
and
to
that is my escapism. Painting and singing.
Yeah, same. Because I am into photography, okay, fine art photography, and when I grab the camera on the tripod, I just switch off
Yeah.
everything, all the noise, and I'm creating an alternate reality. I'm not just taking a snapshot of what I'm seeing in front of me, but I'm creating this.
Creating, yeah. And you'll be working with the right side of your brain.
Exactly, the female
So
side.
all of this side, all of my messages always come through this side. If I get anything this side, no, it's nothing. It's always this side. So it's I find it really interesting I've always done all the studies. If there is a study that can teach me how I have this ability, I'll sign up to it. Because I want to know more than anyone.
Of course. You have been
How
given a gift.
can I do it?
Yeah. It's very interesting, yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Hope we meet again.
I'm sure
because
we
it was
will.
a
It
very
sounds
good
like we need to go
discussion.
to the hyper gym.
Yeah. I'd be willing to.
God, you're going to have to weigh down my ankles so I don't
The
run.
first thing they do, they take your phone. You have to leave it in a locker.
Oh, that's quite interesting because we should all be turning our Wi-Fi off at night.
Yeah, I know. I
Turning
don't,
those phones
but
off.
I know.
We should
And
be.
covering the mirrors as well.
And covering the mirrors.
I know, I don't as well.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I know.
We should all practice what we preach, but sometimes we take for
Sometimes
granted.
I'm a little bit lazy with these things. Like, for example, I have 2 mirrors in the bedroom.
At your feet?
Yeah.
You like to play with fire.
I like to play with fire. Yeah.
That is basically.
I'm
just-
crazy. I challenge these things. I'm not afraid of anything. Come on.
Great. You can do the cleanses.
Come on.
Because
I can be an exorcist.
I have people come. No, but they come to me for that. I send them to church. Why should I have to deal with it?
I would love to be in an exorcism.
Then we'll talk.
I would love to, honestly.
We will talk.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Good. I need someone like
Unless
you.
it's a rat.
Unless it's a rat.
Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome. Thank you for
You're
having
so
me.
sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you.